Hey everybody, this is Spidey from Reviews here. Today I got some comic book reviews for you. First off, I just want to say, 2 weeks ago, I picked this up. It's a trade. It's called Assassin's Creed Subject 4. I gotta read it, but I will include this in next week's reviews, as long as Thanos Rising, because my shop was sold out of that. So, next week, expect to see a review for this, Assassin's Creed Subject 4. And Thanos Rising, that's next week. Just flipping through it though, I haven't read it. It looks really good. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of gore, a lot of explosions. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. Anyways, on to the comics I picked up this week. Today's reviews, we got some Swamp Thing, we got some Age of Ultron, some Deadpool, Superior Spider-Man, and some Hulk action going on. I'm going to start it off by talking about Swamp Thing. Now, this is where DC did all these covers where, you know, they flip out. The cover's really cool on this. It says, the Guardians of the Green battle Scarecrow, and not even Superman can save them. And if you're wondering why DC decided to do, you know, this big fold-out cover thing, well, it's because it's an advertisement, because they want to sell comics, because they got a movie coming out, which is apparently the most anticipated film of the year. Yeah, I don't think so, DC. Not my most anticipated film, that's for sure. Man of Steel, not my most anticipated film. But we have a new creative team on this. The art's good. I don't mind the art. I like Yannick Paquette more, but the art is good in this. I don't mind it. If this were to be the art for the rest of the series, I'd be fine with it. The coloring of Swamp Thing looked a little off in some panels, like here he looks a little gray. I don't know if he's supposed to look like that, or that's what they're going for, or is it just some lighting? I don't know. But the art is decent. It's nice to look at, I guess you could call it. Okay, my light is falling. So, is the story good? Okay, I just can't get this light. Okay, that's fine there. You guys will live with that glare. I should have planned this out, shouldn't I? Okay, anyways. Sorry about that little delay. So, the storytelling, was it good? No. The story was not good. I did not enjoy it. Thought it was stupid in some parts. Like I said, the art's great, and here's the thing. We look at Marvel. You have writers like Ed Brubaker, who did Captain America for the longest time, until Marvel now, I mean, for a long time. Then you have writers like Dan Slott, and he's been doing Spider-Man for so many years now. He's still doing Spider-Man. And then you have writers like Jeff Johns, okay, for DC. I'm just going to use this as an example. Jeff Johns is leaving at Green Lantern issue 20. And he's been writing Green Lantern perfectly for so many years. He's one of the best writers DC's ever had. And they're letting him off that book. You have Scott Snyder, who did an amazing job on Swamp Thing, and letting off that book. So this is starting to make me think that I am supposed to expect DC to have a really good comic book, and then just, oh, we're done. Okay, let's change the creative team, let's give them something new. You know, and the thing that upsets me the most about this, Scott Snyder got pulled off this book because they wanted him to do better, or more work on Batman. They wanted him to be more focused on Batman. Which makes me think, you know, you have Court of Owls, Death of Family, and he wrote those two stories while he was writing Swamp Thing. It can't really get better than those, you know, those two stories. I mean, those were amazing. And I mean, I don't think it could really get much better. I mean, just by taking away some of his, putting more of his time into that, I think, you know, him doing a fantastic 2 story arcs, and a fantastic story for Swamp Thing, you know, having him on 2 books and making him do masterpieces is a better thing than just having him say, okay, we're gonna scrap this, it's Swamp Thing, it's Vertigo, nobody cares, so let's just, you know, give the fans a really good, a little bit better Batman comic book, and they'll be happy, and no one's gonna care about Swamp Thing anymore. And my, fear is that this series is gonna get really bad. It's gonna get, maybe canceled. I don't know, and I'm really scared that would happen because Swamp Thing's an awesome character, and Scott Snyder has proved that Swamp Thing can be incorporated in a universe, like the DC universe, and it's amazing. He made an amazing run on Swamp Thing, and I remember I was here last month saying, "Oh my God, this is awesome! Look at what look at this page. Look at this page Annick Paquette drew. It's, and I'm just not having that feel with it, and I'm really upset with that. And I really think DC should, they have good writers, but they're just not enabling them to do everything they want. So this was disappointing. Very disappointing. Next up, we're gonna let's review Indestructible Hulk. On a more positive note, I really enjoyed this. Really like this cover. I really like the art in here. It's just a comic book you can really have fun with. It's just really good. We don't get to see too much Hulk until the really end, and that's where I have problems with it. But overall, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Art-wise was good, story-wise was good. Probably one of the better issues from the Indestructible Hulk we've seen. This in the first issue, because the first issue was good, second issue was good. It got really rough around the middle, and then it slowed down right towards the end. And then this came along, and it was amazing. So, yeah, Thor. So you get Thor. You have some Frost Giants. You have Hulk. What more can you ask for? It was just a whole bunch of fun. I really liked it. Superior Spider-Man. Now, I mentioned Dan Slott earlier in the review, didn't I? Yeah, I did. You know why? Because he's been doing Spider-Man for so long, and you know what? He's been doing a really good job with it, so why would you take him off that book? I mean, Marvel, you make sense. You make sense. Anyways, this was really good. We get to see a character, a Spider-Man character in this comic book that I don't think we've seen in a while. His name's Cardiac. He's a vigilante. You probably all know him. And he's a really cool character. I always liked him. I always thought he was sort of cool. And now Superior Spider-Man goes up against him. Now, two things happen here. Or three things, sorry. We learn that Peter Parker is somewhat controlling his body a bit more. We learn that Cardiac and Spider-Man have a cool battle. And the Avengers are going to have a throwdown with Spider-Man. And he will probably be kicked off the team. Now, Dan Slott said that after the end of this story arc here, A Troubled Mind, I think this is 2 issues or 3 issues, 4 issues, I'm not sure. But he said fanboys are gonna rage. So, let's see what happens there. That makes me curious. So, Spider-Man's getting kicked off the Avengers. That's a given. He's about to have a throwdown with them. And I really enjoyed this issue a lot. I mean, Ramos's art is spectacular. I always thought he was a fantastic Spider-Man artist. Draws things really cartoony, really blotchy, but it suits the storytelling really well. And I'm really excited for this series, and it's the best Spider-Man series we've had in quite a while, actually. And we've had some pretty good Spider-Man series ever since. Dan Slott's been doing a great job with it, but I think this is some of Dan Slott's best work right here. Let's talk about Age of Ultron. This was close to being my comic of the week. 1, Luke Cage smashes some stuff. 2, we learn some stuff. And 3, Brian Hitch's art is amazing. And this is one of those comics where if you have bad art, you have a bad comic book, because this is really, really art-driven. And when I say that, I mean scenes like this, we just have splash pages of, not really splash pages, but just blank, just drawings of Luke Cage smashing some Ultrons. I mean, you need to have good art for that, and it's important that, is important in these kind of comic books. And I mean, they're important in everyone, but they're especially important in these ones. Bendis has been doing a good job. This is probably the best issue we've seen from this series. Better than issue 2. I said it. And, yeah, we learn that... That's my stupid cat! Okay. And we learn that, Ultron is controlling everything from the future, and the vendors are gonna have to try and get to him. And Nick Fury had a plan, and the remaining heroes are gonna use that plan to save everybody. Overall, this was really entertaining. And for my comic of the week, it was Deadpool issue 7. Let's talk about this cover. It pays a little homage to the Demon in a Bottle story. And it says Marvel then, because this takes place back in Demon in a Bottle. And we all know the Demon in a Bottle story. Obadiah Stane, Tony Stark drinking, all that stuff. And this takes place there, and this is basically Deadpool has to get Tony Stark, or Iron Man, Iron Man to drink, because, see, if you read the comic book, you understand why I get the two mixed up, because the guy told him something. It was specifically Tony Stark or Iron Man, I can't remember. But one of Mephisto's henchmen says, you gotta get Tony Stark to drink, and that's Deadpool's mission right there. And he runs into some trouble along the way, he gets him to drink, and it's just, you know, it's clever, it's witty, it's humorous, it's everything a Deadpool comic needs to be and should be, and I love the art. I love how it's drawn like a Silver Age sort of comic book. I think it was just like just spot on, every single page. The art, it's just beautiful to look at. I just had a lot of fun with this, and this is probably one of the most fun comic books I've had. One of the comics I've had the most fun with this year, and I've really enjoyed this, and I recommend everybody picking this up. This is definitely worth $2.99, and it's only $2.99. And oh yeah, and seeing Deadpool suit up as Iron Man, I'll just show you that right now. That's awesome. That is awesome. That is automatic comic of the week right there. So my rating on this, it wasn't perfect, so I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. This will get a 4.5 out of 5 too. This gets comic of the week, by the way. This also gets 4.5 out of 5. I'm gonna go 4 to 5 with this one, and this is 2.5 out of 5. I'm really curious to know what you guys thought of Swamp Thing. I really want to know what you guys thought of Deadpool, and what do you think of this new story arc in Indestructible Hulk? And hey, what the heck? Just tell me what you think of Age of Ultron and Superior Spider-Man 2. So I'm excited for the next issue for all these comics except Swamp Thing. Hopefully it gets better. And just a little something I want to mention. I really like the ad on the back of Marvel Comics this week. And so, like I said, Thanos Rising will be next week because my comic shop ran out. And if it's not next week, it's the week after. He said it'd be either next week or the week before. And hopefully I can read this in 1 week. So please be on the lookout for that. Hopefully I wasn't slamming on the table too much. I know that gets really annoying. And trust me, I try to watch my videos and it is annoying. So anyways, guys, that's all for now. I just did it again. So I'll see you next week. Hopefully I can get a video out tomorrow. And oh yeah, peace out.